And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Today we're taking a look at City of Horror! This is a sequel of sorts to Mall of Horror from Asmodee Games. Now, I'm a big fan of Mall of Horror. It was a game that I very much enjoyed. This game here, while it's a sequel, like I said, of sorts to Mall of Horror, is actually more of like a Mall of Horror 2.0. There are many different changes in this version. I mean, for one thing, you're no longer in a mall, instead you're in a city, but there's also, I would say, there's more variety in this game. There's more things that can happen, and it has a different kind of experience, but essentially feels like the same game. Now, does that mean it's good or bad? Well, obviously you know my opinion because I liked the original Mall of Horror, but let me show you this game. At the beginning of the game, you need to set the board up. And the way this works is, you can see this centerpiece here is placed like this, and then 4 road pieces are attached, and then you have 4 outside pieces. Now the reason that you do this is because each of these pieces, all of them, have 2 sides, so you can use either side, and that gives variety to the game. The water tower always goes there, but the other stuff can be kind of set up where you want it to be. Each player is going to get a certain amount of characters that they will have over the course of the game. The number of characters you get is going to be equal to the number, it's different based on the number of players in the game. So if you're playing a great game, also known as with 5 or 6 players, you'll each get 3 characters. Now these character cards are all different. They have a special ability that they can use once during the game, and they have a certain number of victory points. However, if they use their special ability over the course of the game, then their victory point total will change. And so, for example, Grandpa here, he can't vote, but he can vote once during the game. If he does, he's no longer worth 5 points. He's now worth 3 points. And so different people will change over the course of the game, and their points will go down based on if they use their ability or not. Now, what you want to happen is you want your people to survive. So you'll take whatever people that you have, and you're going to put them in color bases that match your color, and then you'll be taking turns putting them in starting locations around the board. Now, there are different spots on each of these boards. Let's take a look at one of the boards. For example, here's the armory. Now, this armory has spots for 3 people in it. Once these 3 spots are filled, no more people can come here. The sidewalk is where the zombies, and if you've noticed over here, you'll see that there are a lot of zombie pieces ready to come out on the board. Okay, and this also tells you what the special ability of this location is. So there's not too many spots for the different people. There's a couple spots in the tower, over in the church there's some spots. So if there's no more spots for you, then you get to come out here in the crossroads section between the roads, and you can have as many people as you want out in this section, but again, that's kind of open, and you're not necessarily wanting to be out there. Now, over the course of the game, you're going to make a deck of cards, and this deck of cards is going to come from here. And this deck of cards has 0, 2, 1, 3, and 4, and that's basically to tell you the time of the game. The game takes place in a certain number of rounds, and you have different cards, so each game will be different because you're only going to use one of each. And at the beginning of the round, this is going to show you how many zombies go to each location. Sometimes in later rounds, zombies will move from location 3 to location 2, and maybe some supplies will be airdropped in. Players are going to start with supplies from this deck, and these are supplies that do all sorts of things, like move the zombies somewhere else, or you're invisible for a round because you're hiding, or you can vote twice on a round, mostly because you have a gun, or you can kill zombies, or there's a spot for you to go on. You find a spot to go on. Now, the very first thing that is going to happen on a round is anybody on the water tower, or at least on section A of the water tower. If the water tower is on B, it would be something different. And I should mention right now that the components for this game are stunning. However, I have a preview copy, which means some of the boards warped a bit. This is not what happened. They were selling, this is at Gen Con, and when they opened it up and found the warped boards, they did not sell it. But I got one. But so you can expect your boards not to be warped, unlike this tower, which looks like it's going to fall off. The people who are on the tower at the beginning of the round can look at the card, and they can say, ooh, so that's where the zombies are going to be coming. Ooh, and they can share this information with other people, but they don't have to. They can be jerks, no problem with that. Each player then has a hand of cards, and they're going to take these cards, and these cards match the different locations on the board. You can see the symbol will match the symbol that is on, for example, that symbol matched the symbol there on the bank. So players are going to place these cards and then reveal them at the same time. But before they do, we will then reveal the zombies, and the zombies will show up in the different locations according to the card. Also, it's possible that airlifted supplies will be dropped in, not just maybe weapons and things, but also drugs, which can be very handy. So that's going to happen, and zombies are going to show up all over the board. Once it happens, then everyone has a chance to move. The location that you put down is where you will move to, and you have to move one of your other people. You might not want to move there after you see zombies going there. Too bad. Now, if that spot is full of other people, then you bounce back to the middle. There's always room for everybody in the middle. Isn't that great? Once everyone's been done, we resolve each location one at a time. We start with the water tower, which is always number 1, and then we go to location 2, location 3. At each tower, there's always a possibility that there's a special ability that can be accomplished at that thing. And I'm not going to go over every single one of them, but like, for example, here in the bank, you can move this wheel in the middle, and I'll get back to that wheel in a second. Or over here in the armory, you can discard a card, one of your cards in your hand, to draw another card from the deck. So a way to get more weapons. Okay, so that's the different, you can do different things in each location. However, we have to check the zombies in a location. Here in the armory, you can see right here that if there's ever more zombies than there are humans, that's a terrible thing. The zombies are going to eat somebody. Sometimes it will be a specific number. Sometimes it will be if the zombies have more than the people in the middle. For every one zombie in the middle of the table, they're going to kill somebody. And that's not very exciting. So anyhow, let's say the zombies kill someone. All the people who are there, let's say in this location it's red, orange, and green. They have one vote to decide, for each person they have there, to decide who is getting thrown to the zombie and who is not. So you will then vote. And if it's a tie, it's going to go to the person who's sitting closest to the start player. You can make any kind of deals you want. But someone's going to die, the zombies are going to eat them, and everyone else is going to get off scot-free until the next time a vote happens. Now, in the middle, I should mention the special ability of the middle. You can scrounge for food for your special ability, which can be points that you'll get at the end of the game. But in the middle, how does a zombie determine who to eat? It's not voting here. Instead, the zombie leader token will be moving around from color to color. Every time someone's killed, he'll move to the next color of somebody in the middle and eat them. And then move on. And that's a good thing to have, because the last person who gets eaten gets the first player token. Well, at the beginning of the game, when you take the first player token, the zombie is also placed on you, so he might eat you first. Unless, of course, you're not in the middle. So through other special abilities, you might manipulate this to move and hopefully eat other people. After the last card has been flipped over, the choppers come, and everybody is rescued. Hooray! Anyone's still alive. At that point, you will get points equal to whatever's on the card, whether you used your ability or not. You will get points for any scrounged food that you have. You will get points for picking up the vaccine. Oh, but the vaccine's even more important than that. You need one vaccine for every person you still have alive. If you don't, they die. So make sure you get some of these vaccines. If there's vaccines or things in an area, you will also have a vote on that to determine who gets what. And again, you can make deals. Say, you give me this here, I'll give you this over there. You don't kill me here, I'll give you a vaccine over there. And so you can even get vaccines at the hospital, and there's different things that you can do to get this. So at the end of the game, whoever has the most points is the winner. That's if you're still alive. Oh, but there's one more thing, and this is a great thing. Several of the cards that you play, they do different things. Ooh, kill zombies, but you're causing more and more havoc. When these are played, they have a little symbol here. You can see this little explosive symbol. When that happens, you need to put one of those either on the water tower or over on the armory. When there's 3 of them at the water tower collapses, and everybody there dies, including any zombies who are there. From then on, the zombies can still come there, but it's a collapsed water tower. The armory, on the other hand, once there's enough at the armory, boom, the whole thing blows up, and no one can no longer go to the armory. We put little flame tokens there to show that. Ha 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 ha. First of all, I just enjoy this game. The more players, the better, because there's more going around, there's more voting. You have to go into this game fully expecting that you are going to have at least a couple of your people die, because people are not going to let it stand. And you can try your best, but other people are going to vote you out. You have special cards, but they're only going to last so long. City of Horror is not for the faint of heart. And by faint of heart, I mean people who have a hard time getting along with others. Because this is a game where when I play you, am going to throw you to the zombies and laugh when I'm done. Now, I hope that we would not do that in real life, but in this game, there's going to be that constant back and forth, constant voting your stuff down and trying to make these alliances. Now, if you like diplomatic alliances shifting back and forth, then this is awesome. But there's going to be a point in the game that if you're not playing it light and fun, you're going to have your feelings hurt. Oh, that's sad. Don't play this game if you have that kind of problem. Now, that being said, production in this game is absolutely stunning. City of Horror just is really neat. I have a game here where the tiles warped a little bit, and they fixed that since. They managed to give me this pre-production copy of it, and I'm still astounded. The art is great. The whole thing looks good. And one of the things that I really liked about this was that the original Mar Horror, the board just looked bleh. There was blood on it and zombies. And you say, oh, I love blood and zombies. True, but I didn't necessarily, it was kind of gross, the original board. This board looks better. There's still fires and zombies and that neat zombie horde. I do miss the plastic zombies, but that's something I can replace because Twilight Creations exists and they make thousands, probably millions of these little plastic zombies. So you can throw them in the game. But all that being said, fantastic production values. One of the things I really like about this game is the fact that all the players have different powers, all the cards. Now you're constantly having to move the sheet around. It's one of those games that's language independent, so you might not know what everything does. But very quickly, you'll learn what the special symbols means. 2 zombies with X's through means they're dead. Also, at the beginning of the game, you use special cards like mad to save your skin. But as the game progresses, you'll be like, oh, maybe I should have kept some of those for when the going got tough. And I like that. The game has a very strong flavor to it. There are all kinds of zombie games out there nowadays, but in my opinion, this one brings across the zombie theme better than any others. You're just trying to survive as long as you can, not go out and fight a million zombies. This is a big win for me. I really enjoyed this game. Now, of course, I've said many times, this is the sequel to Mall of Horror, and that's why I like it. Yes, but why do I like it so much? I think it's because, not the special powers in the cards, but because of just how the game feels. It feels fun. It feels like, oh, your character just got killed, but he sacrificed himself as everybody else ran for the other place. As in this game, it brings that forth. The water tower collapses and fires break out and the armory explodes. Those are neat moments in kind of those B horror zombie films, and that's in this game. So this is one that I really recommend highly. A fantastically fun game, City of Horror.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find the latest board game news at Dicetowernews.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Fun Again Games, the world's best game source. Fun Again Games has over 5,000 games available. Check them out at funagain.com.